To bring you breaking news. Good afternoon. I'm Diana Watson. There are reports of a possible shooting at Townville Elementary School in Anderson County as we speak. So again, we are continuing to follow breaking news. This comes out of Townville Elementary School. That is off Highway 24. We do know that that highway that leads right up there to the school is shut down at this point while the Highway Patrol responds. And in addition, Anderson County deputies are there on scene. Oconee County deputies have been brought in to help get the children out of the building. We don't know the extent of what happened in or around the building. We just know that it was considered an emergency situation, and there are reports from Anderson County of shots being fired, a shooting in or around the property there. There was also some talk about the retention pond right there near the school and possibly something involving that. So we are continuing to monitor this situation. Townville Elementary School, many parents, of course, concerned, rushing to the school as we speak, trying to get word of how their children are doing and make sure they're out of that building safely. And I know authorities are very much out there as well. I want to reiterate and continue to bring in new information as viewers join us this afternoon. There has been a shooting at Townville Elementary School in Anderson County. Mapping that out, it's right on the Anderson-Oconee County line, not too far from the Georgia state line. So many people have wondered, where is Townville? Mostly a rural area around that small community. It is located, if you're thinking of I-85, pretty much exit 4, exit 3, somewhere there off Interstate 85 if you're headed toward the Georgia state line, not too far from Lake Hartwell. That is where it's happening. And then telling you more about what is happening, there has been a shooting at Townville Elementary School. We know there are injuries here, and we know they have a shooting suspect in custody, or they have identified and they have a shooting suspect in custody. Kids have been taken from the school, evacuated from Townville Elementary. We're talking pre-kindergarten through 6th graders have been loaded onto buses and have been taken to Oakdale Baptist Church. This is our live look right here at the scene around Townville Elementary School, and you can see emergency responders out there. You've got Townville Emergency Services on scene. You have people standing blocking the road right there with their vests on. The Highway Patrol has closed down Highway 24, which is a major road that goes right by the school there in Townville. We do know that many parents probably rushed to the scene immediately after getting word of a shooting incident happening at Townville Elementary, but parents are being told to go to Oakdale Baptist Church, which is about 2 miles away from Townville Elementary School. That is a staging area for parents to be reunited with their children. So if you know someone who may be driving to the school, they're not going to be able to get up to the school. The school has been basically locked down around the school in terms of getting in and out, and the children are being bussed out. Even just in the past couple of minutes, our own Jennifer Phillips there on scene saw buses going by loaded with children being taken to Oakdale Baptist Church. Each of those buses, they're keeping these kids safe. Each of those buses has a deputy on board, a member of law enforcement on board as it's being taken from the school and there over to Oakdale Baptist Church. A staging area has also been set up as well at Townville Baptist Church, but this is giving a longer look here of the area leading up to the school. This is right off Highway 24, so you can see Highway 24 right there, and then taking a look as we get closer. So Townville Elementary, you kind of think of a V in the road, Townville sitting in between, Townville Elementary in between that V, and basically law enforcement, parents, anyone responding is coming at it from all sides there. But parents, again, are being told, do not come to the location of Townville Elementary School. That is considered a crime scene. There has been a shooting there at the school. We do have a shooting suspect in custody, and we do know there are injuries, according to Anderson County deputies. Right now, the extent of injuries, the number of those injured, and whether children were among the injured right now remains unknown to us. But we can tell you, Anderson County taking the lead on this, Oconee County backing this up, because Oconee County and Anderson County, the school sits right there on the line of those two counties, very close to the Georgia state line as well. We do know at the church, we have some photos that are coming into our newsroom that I just want to describe to you, and we'll get those up to you in just a moment as well. But A number of parents standing out in the parking lot of Oakdale Baptist Church awaiting these buses to arrive with children on board. So you can imagine, I'm a mom myself. My kids are in high school now. Getting word of a shooting happening in a school in our area, it's alarming. It's alarming to these parents. It's alarming to all of us. Prayers are going out to all of them on Facebook, on social media. And right now, taking a look, you can see this picture I'm looking at, just parents standing in this parking lot awaiting word to find out and make sure that their kids are okay. Those kids are being loaded onto buses. They're being taken and evacuated from the school. Members of law enforcement are there riding with them, getting them safely to Oakdale Baptist Church where they can reunite with their parents. But you can imagine in a school that has pre-kindergarten through sixth graders that you're dealing with, you know, it takes some time. It takes some time to get these kids together, to get them out of there, and to get them on to Oakdale Baptist Church where their parents are waiting.
They could change pretty fast.
Right. I mean, there's so many questions that remain. Were these students, in fact, considered targets in all of this? Was the teacher the target in all of this? Or was this a random shooting of some type? Those are all questions that remain to be seen at this point. We do know, and many of you who are parents, you know the security at the schools in our area. I know at my own kids' school, you have to be buzzed in to even get into the school. Not sure how the security is set up there at Townville Elementary, but because of the rash of school shootings that have happened over the past decade or so, many schools have continued to just update their security, make it more and more difficult for just anyone off the streets to walk inside. So it makes you wonder, was this teen known to the school? Was it someone who had a relative there at the school? So a lot of questions that will be remaining in the days ahead, or possibly in the next couple of hours. Maybe we'll know more about the circumstances leading up to this shooting. But taking a look there at the front of the school, you can see we have law enforcement out there. We've seen SLED agents out there. We've seen ATF out there. Anderson County initially were the ones called. When it came in over the scanner saying active shooter, Anderson County said all units just respond over there to the school. Oconee County also provided support there, coming very quickly as well, as that school sits right there at the Anderson-Oconee County line. They came in to help make sure those children were evacuated from the school, because you can imagine, I mean, that's first and foremost. They want to make sure they can get those children safely out of there. And we got the good news just a short time ago from Jennifer Phillips that every child has been accounted for, that every child except, unfortunately, it does connect everyone, because I was just looking minutes ago at somebody else saying they were informed about a particular couple needing prayers for their son. They're on their way to Greenville Hospital. I won't post his name right now, it says, but just please pray for him. And that's followed by just continuous prayers and people sending that out, sending good thoughts and prayers to the people of Townville, and specifically to those two young victims. We have one child who's been life-flighted to ANMED. One child has been life-flighted to GHS. That was a little change there. We had originally been told both life-flighted to GHS. Right. One went to ANMED, one to GHS, and then one teacher taken by EMS to ANMED. Yeah, I mean, you can just imagine for these teachers kind of gathered together here, you know, never expecting what happened this afternoon. Normal school day, a Wednesday afternoon, not too far from dismissal time, 1:45. We heard it come across our police scanners in the newsroom of an active shooter at Townville Elementary School. You know, and those teachers in moments like this are forced to keep their composure, keep their calm, and their job is to keep our children safe, you know, inside a school building in a situation like this, and that they did. Two children, though, were hurt this afternoon. You can see some of these teachers and other employees hugging each other, you know, kind of taking time to just reflect on what happened this afternoon inside their school in Townville. Townville is in Anderson County, right there near the Oconee County line, right off Highway 24 there. And this is a tight-knit community. This is a place where a lot of people, we heard this from a mom earlier, you know, I felt like this was a safe place for my child to go to school. I picked this smaller school, smaller community, feeling that the safety would be more there. And then to have that kind of ripped apart today, I'm sure has left a lot of people shaken this afternoon. A lot of kids being held a little tighter by their parents this afternoon. We are following breaking news this afternoon out of Greenville, where a police officer is dead, shot in the line of duty this afternoon. This is a live look at Rebecca Street in the Nicholtown community. You can see a massive law enforcement presence still out there investigating. Police say the officer was serving a warrant on a gang suspect when the man took off running. Officers gave chase, and that's when the man turned and opened fire, hitting one officer a number of times. Fox Carolina was first on scene this afternoon. Adrian Acosta is still on Rebecca Street, which remains a maze of crime scene tape right now.
Fox Carolina's Derek Dellinger is live along Ackley Road. That's where police just wrapped up a news conference a short time ago. We brought it to you live here in as we interrupt regular programming. So what are police saying right now, Derek, as far as their investigation goes?
Well,
a witness told us police tried to stop the suspect at a church nearby where the staging area has been set up when the suspect took off running behind a home on Rebecca Street. And Fox Carolina's Adrian Acosta first on scene. It's still busy out there, swarming with law enforcement. Adrian, tell us more about the perspective from there. You know, we've talked a lot about today's situation and this horrible case involving this police officer being killed today. But nearly 20 years ago, Greenville police lost another officer. That's the last time that department lost an officer in the line of duty. He was also shot and killed while pursuing a suspect. I actually was there as a reporter covering the shooting live that day 20 years ago.
And this is a picture of Officer Russ Sorrow, who died in September of 1996.
Still to come, an upstate mother holding out hope that her son will be found alive.
6 days after he vanished on an Abbeville County lake, there's still no sign of him or his boat.
And we are continuing to follow breaking news on the shooting death of a Greenville police officer. He was serving warrants on a man the chief calls an admitted gang member who later shot and killed himself. We'll have much more on this breaking news throughout this newscast. And this is a live look at Rebecca Street in the Nicholtown community. And you can see the massive law enforcement presence still out there investigating in this entire area, not just in the neighborhood there, but also along the Swamp Rabbit Trail. An officer was serving a warrant on a gang member just before 12:30 this afternoon when the suspect took off running behind a home. Officers gave chase, and then that suspect turned and opened fire and killing one of the officers, shooting him several times. They tried CPR on the scene, but they could not revive him. That person, the suspect, then apparently called his mother and said he was going to kill himself, and he did.
Fox Carolina's Diana Watson joins us live in Myrtle Beach with more on the damage there. Diana, you know that area well, and we heard the mayor saying it's pretty devastating to see that pier destroyed.
It really is, Cody. A lot of people very much devastated by the pier itself and by other iconic landmarks around this area that have been affected. And one of them that a lot of people have wondered about and have asked about is here in Murrells Inlet. It's the Marsh Walk, and it's right here behind me. You can see people going by. This is an area where there are many restaurants and bars located. A lot of people in the warmer months will just come out here and enjoy this area right along the water. But it was very much covered in water when the storm came through. But I just talked to some employees out here. They said they all banded together. They got out here. They cleaned up debris all day yesterday. There are still areas affected here, some docks that have been ruined, some other damage as well. But luckily, they say things are moving forward for the Marsh Walk. A little bit different over at the Surfside. Fred. Definitely a lot of people devastated by the damage, the heavy damage to the Surfside Pier. Talking to the mayor there, it's at least 50% damaged. They'll probably have to bring the whole thing down and just start over at this point. He said the support, the pilings underneath were very much compromised when the storm came through. So clearly they'll have to look for the next several months. He says up to 2 years of what it will take to replace this pier. And that's something a lot of people want to see happen as soon as possible. And like the mayor says, so many people have memories there. I mean, my own family, my parents live just a couple of blocks from that pier, you know, going out there and fishing in the summertime, enjoying 4th of July fireworks. It's really something looking back over pictures. It's a part of our family history, and I know it is for so many others as well. So everyone's really hoping that it will be rebuilt as soon as possible. Cody?
And Dinah, you've talked to a lot of people there on your way down today. What's the morale? Do people seem hopeful that they can rebuild and try to get back to normal?
I'll tell you, that's really the great thing, because as I was driving, I came through Marion County. I have a lot of family in Marion County, came through Florence County, on the way here, stopped and talked to people on the side of the road. People were picking up trees. People were helping each other. It really is that sense of working together. Even here at the Marsh Walk, they were saying that all the employees of these different restaurants came out all day yesterday, worked really hard all day long to kind of get things back to normal as soon as possible. So there's a lot of that hopefulness, people working together, people trying to make a difference, and hoping that it'll just resume back to normalcy even just a couple of days after the storm rolled through. Cody?